The audio you're about to hear was recorded in Anchor. Learn more at anchor.fm.
You're listening to Pretty Dece, the bite-sized audio blog about games, comics, movies, and more, featuring news, reviews, opinions, and impressions. So if you're a geek, we hope you think it's Pretty Dece.
What's going on, everybody? It is April 7th, 2017. This is Pretty Dece, and I'm your host, Josh. And joining me in the show tonight, we have my fiancée, Jessie. What's up, Jessie?
Hey, world. What's up?
Hey. So I dragged you on the show today because I wanted to talk about Snipperclips with you, which is a game that you and I just finished, actually.
We did.
We just beat it.
Yeah, it was pretty epic.
So tell the world what Snipperclips is.
So Snipperclips is a game where you are two different shapes and you have to work together to accomplish different tasks. So it involves a lot of communication.
It does.
And problem-solving skills, and we've discovered some interesting things.
What system is Snipperclips for, first of all?
Nintendo Switch.
Cool. And what's the cool thing about how you control Snipperclips?
You connect the switchy thing.
Yeah, so it uses both of the, Joy-Cons. We each get one, and you just turn them sideways, and you play, which is really cool.
And I'm always plus.
Yes, you're always plus. I'm always minus. That maybe you're maybe reading more into that than I thought until just now. But yeah, so this game would cause divorces. I think it's good that we're not married yet, probably, because it was touch and go probably for the course of playing this game.
It was pretty touch and go. Josh's favorite thing is to start any level and just run around and touch everything.
Yeah. You gotta figure it out. You gotta figure out what you're doing.
You have to have a plan first so that you know what you're gonna do and what shape you need to be.
Yeah, but how do you form the plan until you touch everything?
Because you look at it.
But sometimes you can't figure it out until you go poke the button. Literally, there are buttons in the game you have to go poke.
Sometimes you can't figure it out till you push the button.
Wow. Shots fired. So all the puzzles are different in the game, right? So it's not like this, you're not doing the same thing every level. So you're doing things like you like when we get to cut ourselves out. So when you overlap your characters, you can cut each other. So you can basically chop off the parts that are overlapping. So you can form weird shapes. So one set of puzzles is you have to cut yourselves in a way that you match this shape that they have outlined.
I'm a pretty boss circle cutter.
Yeah, you're pretty good at the circles. You kind of had those down. Because the shapes that you start off with, you're sort of rounded on one end. So it's essentially like a rectangle with a rounded end. So you have to take that shape and figure out how to cut that into a circle or
a spaceship.
A spaceship, yeah. We did a washing machine today. Was one of them.
That's what that was.
I think that's what that was. Yeah, the spaceship was a little janky. But it passed for us. Yeah.
Sometimes you play sports. I believe there's baseball, basketball. We did some weird stuff with some DNA earlier.
Yeah, there was DNA. Yeah. Sometimes they make you cut yourself into something that can turn a gear or a crank of some sort.
And that is the worst.
That's very hard. It's very challenging. We got into some levels towards the end that were water based, so there was water that was flowing that we had to cut ourselves into shapes and control, and at one point we had to cut ourselves into buckets so we could hold enough of the water that we could keep it off of something long enough that the level would end, basically. So they do a lot of stuff with this very simple mechanic of two characters that can jump around and cut things.
You can cut, twist, and jump and be on your tippy toes or crouch down.
Yeah.
And that's everything you can do in the whole game.
Yep.
Left, right, up, down.
And they get a lot of use out of all that. There's a lot that goes on in that game. And it's so darn cute. It was adorable, right?
Yeah, it's pretty cute. There are a lot of giggles involved in playing the game for sure.
Yes.
And it's actually a little bit stressful.
It's very stressful.
Believe it or not, for a very adorable game.
Yeah.
I find it more stressful than Zelda.
Yeah, well, it's because it's also, I think about every other level, it ends with one of us screaming, "I don't know what you want me to do!" to the other person. That's always fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of, just go to the right, stop asking questions.
You really want to play it with someone that you are pretty sure you're not going to end up hating. You don't want to play it with someone who, you already kind of don't like, because it's not going to go well, I don't think. No. Gotta play with the right people. It's super cute, the music's really great. Every world, they play the same sort of song, but they remix it for that theme of the world. So, it starts out and it's kind of this, cutesy little tune. Then you unlock a retro world, so it remixes it so it sounds more like an 8-bit, video game theme song, which is really cool. The science world, there are more just like sciencey kind of noises going on in the backgrounds. Your little characters have like facial animations that they're always like scowling at each other or laughing at what's happening. When they get cut, they're surprised that it happens. Yeah, it's just really, really cute. It has that like sort of Nintendo cutesy appeal to it, and it's not even made by Nintendo. So it's cool that like, I don't know, it fits really well on the Nintendo platform.
And if you're too cheap for marital counseling, it'll definitely do the job.
It'll bring up some issues, I think. Yeah, it'll either figure out everything's fine, or it will bring things to the head. For sure.
As quickly as possible. You will know in 3 episodes of Snipperclips if you're meant for each other.
You will. You really will. Yeah. It's fun too. You figure out like what you're good at and what you're not, and we would like fall into roles. So it's like we would figure out like, okay, you're the one who like cuts the circle. So if we need a circle, you handle the cutting of the circles, or like you're better at like trying to like balance this, or like the balls or whatever. Like we would always like sort of fall into those sorts of things, which I think was really cool. So Snipperclips is a very fun game.
I would recommend it.
You would recommend Snipperclips?
10 out of 10 would play again.
Yeah, it's like $20, not too bad. If you have a Switch, you have to get Snipperclips. There's really no other way. Now, we did find a couple modes that we hadn't touched yet. There are like party modes, and then there's like a battle mode. So
not into battle mode.
Not into battle modes. So those are like, you're like playing competitive games. So it's like basketball, hockey. So it's like, you know, you're trying to score on the other person and stuff. So it's not working together at that point. You're attacking each other.
Not a fan.
Here's what you do. You get to the point where you want to kill the other person in the co-op mode. You move to battle mode, solve your problems. Because when I'm mad at you in normal Snipperclips, if I could have just gone and dunked on you, it would have felt a lot better, I think. That's what we need. So, overall, would you say that Snipperclips is pretty decent?
I'd say it's pretty decent.
I would as well. So that's Snipperclips, and that's going to do it for us today for Pretty Dece as well. What should the people do if they like Pretty Dece, Jessie?
They should like us on Facebook.
Like us on Facebook. Do you know where to find us on Facebook?
Pretty Dece Show. Facebook.com/The Pretty Dece Show.
Oh, you're so good at this. It's like you've done this before, but
without the just Facebook.com/Pretty Dece Show.
Yeah, you did it. That's what you said.
I said the.
Oh, yeah, you messed everything up then.
I really did.
All right.
I will never be on the show ever again.
Yeah, ruined. What else should people do you think? Should they maybe favorite the show?
They should favorite the show on Anchor, and they should definitely give a call in to the show.
That's good. Yeah.
Let us know what you think of Snipperclips or any Nintendo Switch games.
Or how proud you are of us for not murdering each other while playing Snipperclips.
Pretty big deal.
Yeah. What's our next game now that we've finished Snipperclips?
I'm really just wanting to watch you play Zelda some more.
Oh yeah, we'll do that too. I also got Persona 5, so at some point on the show we'll talk about Persona 5, just not far enough into it yet to discuss it. But yes, Zelda will of course continue. We will do another show on Zelda, because we've made some progress in Zelda as well.
Done some cool stuff in Zelda.
We've done some cool things. So, as I said, that's going to do it for us. Please follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/PrettyDeShow. Favorite the show. You'll hear episodes as they come out every single day on the app. We have a Twitter as well. Follow us, twitter.com/PrettyDeShow. That's going to do it for us. Thank you for joining us. I've been your host, Josh, and this has been Pretty Dece.
The audio you just heard was recorded in Anchor.